So let's look a little deeper using C# methods, and this time we're going to throw in an array, which is going to be a little bit different. And so to look at this, what we're going to have to do is look at passing information by reference and see what that means. So I'm going to use an example using Excel as an example of the computer's memory when a program runs. So when a program runs, it has to be stored somewhere, and so it's stored in the computer's memory as it's running. So say we have the main method. So I'll say that this is the main method. And we have another method. I'll call it the foo method. So we want to pass information from the main method over here to the foo method. So here's how we can do that. Say we have an integer data type called x, and we assign the value 5 to it. Now we want to send x, the value of x, over here to foo. So one of the ways that we can do it is that we can say foo, get ready to accept an integer data type, and we're going to leave the name the same. We'll call it x. And when we send it over, the value of x is going to be 5. Well, when we do this, what happens is that when we send this, the value of x is 5 here. I go over to my foo method, I send the value, I get ready to receive a value, I'm calling it x, I could call it anything, and it has the value 5 associated with it. So now I say x is equal to 25. So when I do this in foo, does the value of x change in the main method? The answer is no. The value of x, when the foo method returns back to the main method, x is still equal to 5. And if I were to print out the value of x, it would say 5, even though here I changed it to 25. So what I'm doing is I'm just making a copy of x and sending it over here. But there is a way that I can change this. I can have it change when I do send it over here, and what I'm doing is that I can send it by reference, which means that in the computer's memory somewhere there's a area in the computer's memory that I've called x, and in the program I've assigned the value 5 to that computer memory location. So in my example here, A8 is called x, and it has the value of 5. When I send this using this way, what it does is it creates a different cell, and it happens to also call the value x, and it also assigns the value 5 to it. But this is just a copy. So anything I do with this now over here in the foo method is not going to change this original location unless I send it by reference. So if I say instead of just integer, I want to send this by reference, over here in the foo method, if I say go ahead and get ready to receive this, but receive it as a reference data type. What I'm doing is that I'm sending this memory location over here. So this actually refers to this memory location. So when I change it here, it changes here. So when I return back to my main method and print it out, the value is now going to be 25. So this is sending by reference. Now in our example, what we can do is that instead of just sending it by reference, what I can do is that I can use the keyword out, which is pretty much the same thing, only it gives me a little more flexibility, because here in the main method, before I send this information to the foo method, what happens is that I don't have to assign a value to it. I can just say X and not have a value already set for it. And when I send it over here, it doesn't come originally with a value to it, but what I can do is that I have to assign a value to it in the foo method. Okay. I'm going to stop right there, and then I'll go on. Second part, we'll go ahead and look at our example.